tuned in to the DC Defender Show, and we got a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it. Ace is going to rip us off the airwaves if we have too much fun here. What a difference a week can make. Ain't that right, Stallions? I just want to say, everything that we said last week to go through, those guys went out there and did it. They went out there and played physical. They went out there and represented themselves in the team. Nobody out there, especially the books, who, like I said on Tell Me About It, had this game at 7.5 points in favor of the Stallions. When you count that home field advantage is supposed to be worth 3, that means that people were out there perpetrating that the Stallions team was 10 points better than the DC Defenders. Hope you all went ahead and locked those in. That's what I'm here to say, is that nobody except for some of the people in our comments, some of the listeners to the show, one of the hosts on this show, and the guys in that locker room were the only people picking the DC Defenders to do what they did last week. And we're damn proud of them. We're going to go through some of that, look at the matchup this week for the Memphis Showboats Saturday night. One that will feature a big-time great news. I think the first episode of the show, I talked about it. I begged for it. I put it into the air, and it has happened. I planted the fields, and now I will reap the harvest. Liam Fornadell, the best offensive lineman in the UFL, is returning to the DC Defenders. So announced on Wednesday. I don't know if he'll be able to be in the game this weekend, but certainly by next weekend. An excellent lift. Anytime you can get the best of any position in this league to be back and be there for your team, it's a phenomenal pickup. We are extremely pumped to have our guy Liam Fornadell back in the mix. Though I will say, none of the guys on our offensive line really did poorly this weekend. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all phases of the game in our review here in just a moment. But still, it's amazing. It's excellent to get the best damn lineman in the whole UFL back on the squad, back helping control the middle of this field, so we could keep accessing this offense the way it's supposed to run. Speaking of the way this offense is supposed to run, I'll start there. Obviously we got a lot of positive things to talk about. A couple of things that I had some reservations about. And any of you listen to us over there on our home channel, DAR Sports Media, this is something I rant and rave about with the 49ers all the time as well. You guys are hurting my heart with these first down pass calls. Please. This is not what the offense is predicated off of. Tiamu only had a 45% completion percentage, when at the same time, the majority of our offensive line had a 70+ PFF pass blocking grade. It's not great. It's not very good to have a 45% completion percentage while you're getting such good pass protection. Not a good look. Now, obviously, there's some disgruntled stuff. It's week 1. Not everybody's going to be Luis Perez down there in Arlington. We understand that. Please run the ball on first down. There were periods of time in this game where we had the offense running the way it's supposed to run. Quick snap, run the ball over and over, chip away. Those Stallions front 7, they were looking for it. They were, where is that button that I can hit that says quit underneath it? They wanted to find that button. They wanted to quit. If they could have hit the button, they would have. They were getting worn the hell out when this running game got rolling. So much of this offense is, and Tiamu's game is predicated off the RPO, predicated off the play action, predicated off the naked boot. It doesn't work if you're not sticking to and committing to the run. Even if it only gets 1 or 2 yards, you make the defense account for it. You make the eyes go there. That's why it works. We had 42 pass attempts in this game. It's way too much, in my opinion. At least I want 35 maximum. in a ideal situation, less than 35. So when we have 42 pass blocking snaps, I would like to see that be 32 pass blocking snaps. I'd like to see 10 more runs in this game, especially with Fornadell coming back. Like, there's no reason to not lean. That offensive line is going to be by far the strength of the team going forward. Lean on it. But that was that for the passing game. Still, threw a real nice touchdown, by the way. That was a very good scramble and throw there by Tiamo. I was holding my breath when it happened, but he did a good job. He also had like a dot as well later on in the game, didn't he, to Ty Scott? Yeah, down the sideline. That was very good.
Yeah.
At the same time, I was ripping my newly found long hair out at that, missing that screen pass, because it was perfectly set up. There was a screen pass in the first half to Deion Jackson that was perfectly set up. We had the advantage numbers wise and blockers. Deion Jackson with that low 4-4. That was going to be a house call, ladies and gentlemen, and he just straight missed it. And that hurt my heart. But let's not find too much negative in a win, in a huge, what other people consider to be a huge upset. As far as the defensive side of the ball, while we're being negative, before we get into all this positive stuff, Double G, Craig, I need an adjustment, brother. When they're not doing anything else, literally nothing else other than getting yardage off of Alex McGough scrambling, can we get a spy on him, please? Can we play pressure contain? Have our DNs sit at home and then send late pressure. Maybe a late blitzer after we've already set up the brackets to keep him in the pocket. Please make him prove that they can do literally anything else, because they weren't doing anything else. The defense overall had an amazing performance. 8 sacks, 30 QB pressures, just out of control. And I'm telling you guys right now, that offensive line, the PFF scores of the Memphis Showboats that we're playing this week, food, 5-course meal, buffet, Chinese buffet, ready to go. I was saying, we said it on Tell Me About It. You get out whatever you want, whatever religious or region of the country that you're from, whatever racial background. You could get out the belt, you could get out the wooden spoon, you could go pick a switch, you can get a church shoe, you can get a chancla, whatever you need to do. Get ready for this ass whooping on Saturday, because that's what we're going to be doing. But we're going to highlight some possible pitfalls. And I will say as well, that's exactly what the Stallions thought that they were going to be doing last week. And we saw what happened with that. So let's not count too many chickens before they hatch. Tay, before we get into the individual breakdowns, man, thoughts on the game?
I knew it would be like a hard fought game, like a struggle game, but I didn't think the Stallions would play that bad. And I think that's because the defenders just played that good. And then I don't even think this is the best defenders we'll see. There was a lot of improvement.
Right.
There's a lot of improvement that could have happened. Ty Scott came through, like I was saying.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to get into that. Yep.
Yeah, I'm fine with him.
Looked every bit the number one receiver.
Exactly,
5 catches, 61 yards. Had a 73 PFF grade.
Mm-hmm.
Looks every bit the part. You were right on that one. Nailed it.
Yeah, I'm definitely fine with him being wide receiver 1. Deion Jackson, he had a good game. I wish he could have got even more involved.
So one thing I will say about that was going to be part of my breakdown for this next game. Deion Jackson got 11 snaps. 10 of them were carries, and 1 of them was a screen pass to him. So I just need the offense to a good defensive coordinator like Jarrett Horton for the Memphis Showboats is going to identify that. Like, whenever Deion Jackson is in the game, he is getting the ball. So I would hope that they would look into possibly switching that up a little bit, or giving him some more snaps. We love Abram Smith here, but Deion Jackson is the guy that we've liked since the preseason, and he showed why. Man, he had 4.2 yards a carry, PFF grade in the 70s as well. He looked the part. He looked ready to go.
Defense played amazing. And to your point about McGough, scrambling, I think that was the game plan. I think that's what we wanted. Like, I think we were like it when I watched it. To me, it looked like we wanted him to throw the ball, and he didn't throw the ball well. We got a lot of pressures going on. D line played excellent. Again, one of the keys to the game that we've been hitting on. So I think that was the game plan. And I mean, they did absolutely nothing in the second half. They laid an egg out there, in the second half. They only scored one touchdown. So I think, we dominated them. I would say, like, to hold the reigning champions to 11 points and a loss week 1. I mean, doesn't really get better than that. And like I said, I don't even think this is the best defenders version you'll see. So
no,
yeah,
not at all.
Yeah, the game plan honestly worked. Like, I would say it was more so bend but don't break. That's kind of how I seen the defense. Because it worked. Like, go ahead, he can keep scrambling, but eventually, you got to score, and he didn't score. So yeah, defense played excellent. The O-line definitely came to play, and yeah, I mean, it was a great game.
Shout out, speaking of watching the game is being a great game, shout out to the Rowdy Audi crowd. You guys smoked the attendance of every other game this weekend, and it sounded like a football game out there.
Yeah.
These other crowds, it was sparse and it was quiet. This game sounded like a legit football game with legit reactions, loud cheering whenever we would whack McGough over and over and over. Phenomenal job from the Rowdy Audi crowd. We were watching you. I was at home getting pumped. Can't wait to be out there with you guys. Awesome job. Keep selling them tickets. I expect big things from this game this weekend. A Saturday night with the boats coming in. Oh, yes. Yeah. That place better be even more full and even more loud, and maybe a nice and even bigger beer to make some nice imbibement to lube up the emotions of everybody out there. For that game, you mentioned the offensive line, and that was like I said, man, we had 3 guys with a 78 plus 78 or more pass blocking grade on 42 pass blocking snaps. That is excellent. That is, you cannot ask for anything better than that. So phenomenal job from the line pass blocking wise. And obviously we saw them moving the pile plenty of times in the run game. We're going to be adding the best linemen in the league. This could be, the Battlehawks offensive line obviously had a great showcase on Friday night. But I think this defensive, this defenders, but who were they pushing around though? The Roughnecks.
Yeah.
This defenders offensive line was bullying the league standard, the standard of the league, the Stallions, 3 times defending champion. We heard about it all week long. We heard about it in Vegas on the books. This was so don't back up from those claims now. That was a great front 7, and they got punked out by the defenders. So to me, the offensive line is right up there as one of the best offensive lines in the league, as far as right now. And it should be a good push against the Showboats on Saturday night. Reviewing their PFF scores as well. Nobody who played more than 35 snaps for them on the defensive side got higher than a 62 PFF score.
Wow.
Other than the corner, the one guy we're gonna showcase, we're gonna talk about. But other than that, nobody else got higher than a 62 or 63. So offensive line should be able to do its thing on Saturday night, and I'm looking forward to it. I love me some good offensive line play. One person I did want to highlight too that we did not see coming. He joined the team late in the process. Javon Antonio, in essence, a rookie, played for Deion Sanders' Colorado Buffaloes. Had 3 catches on 3 targets. Big targets, 6'3", quick, good hands. 3 catches for 36 yards, had a 72 grade, so he was getting good separation as well. Javon Antonio, excited to see him because that was a big question we had throughout the offseason. Like, who's going to step up? Who's going to emerge in this receiving core? Ty Scott has stepped into the number one receiver role, and now we've got this guy Javon Antonio coming up. So I was excited to see that, and I hope that that continues going into the next game. Our guy Bradley Moore that we highlighted last week didn't get a ton of run in the passing game, but he had an excellent game blocking. He had a 78 blocking grade. So love that from my tight end. Let's just hope more than 42, if we do have 35 plus attempts, let's hope some more of those attempts get into the hands of some receivers going forwards. Any thoughts on, and then Deion Jackson we talked about, any thoughts on and some of our emerging offensive guys, Deion Jackson, Javon Antonio, anything like that?
Like I said, Deion Jackson, we need to get him more involved and not be so obvious, like what you pointed out. Every time he was in the game, he got the ball. But when he did get the ball, he played good. He's one of our best offensive players. So we need to get him more involved in the passing game. It's always running back. They say tight ends are QB's best friend, but it can also be a running back. If you got a talented running back out the backfield. So Deion Jackson, definitely. I want to see him get the ball more, especially against the Showboats this week. This should. I'm not gonna say we're gonna they're a pushover or anything, but I want to see some different things. Because the offense overall wasn't the best. I wanted to see more completions and stuff like that. More big plays, but. Yeah, I want to see that cleaned up and just see a better version of ourselves. I want to score like 25. I want to score 25. I want to improve from week 1. So yeah, I mean, definitely Deion Jackson. That's definitely someone who I have my eye on next week.
What we're really here for, the stars of the game, man. This defense. Oh my goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm.
Had a bunch of guys in the upper 70s, 80s, PFF. The biggest, I think, shock, oh my gosh, Joseph Wallace, the defensive tackle out of Sam Houston State, 5'10", 290. At the defensive tackle spot, had a 90 PFF grade. He had 6 pressures and a sack from the defensive tackle spot, along with 3 tackles. Guy was an absolute animal. He was absolutely unstoppable. Incredible work. One of our favorite guys, Derek Roberson, who we talked about in the preseason, 78 grade, 6 pressures himself, got 2 sacks, 4 tackles. Phenomenal job. And of course, the snap king, the captain of the defense, Anthony Hines. 6 total tackles, 2 sacks. He was named UFM and UFL Defensive Player of the Week. 58 snaps out there running things. A guy who we did not highlight in the run-up, but played a hell of a game, Deontay Anderson, linebacker. He had 54 snaps, a 78 grade, 5 tackles, had a 66 coverage grade. Overall, played a phenomenal game. Deontay Anderson, both corners. Kelvin Joseph, DeAndre Baker, 60 plus in PFF, did a great job. Can't say enough. Our guy Momo Sanogo was remember? I don't know if you guys are making the connection. What did we say? We said when we kick off this game, we need our guys Momo Sanogo, we need Malik Fisher, we need Bryson Thompson. Make a play right off the bat, show them what time it is. And what was the first play of the game? Momo Sanogo and Malik Fisher putting a whack on Ricky Person Jr., knocking him back for loss right at the line. And away we went. Who did you want to highlight on this defense? This masterful defensive performance. 8 sacks, 30 total pressures. Our guard Joe Wallace going buck wild, defensive tackle in the middle, along with Malik Fisher, Derek Roberson, both having great games.
Yeah, I definitely want to highlight the D-line. The D-line is where it starts. You have a D line. If you have a good D line, your defense is probably good, and that showed. We really bothered McGough. Like, he really bothered him. He only completed 10 passes. Like, probably not going to win a
He
game.
almost got sacked this many times as he had completions.
Exactly. That's not good. That's not good.
No.
Like, that's elite defense right there. And that was just one of the keys to the game. Get to the quarterback. D line is the strong suit of the defense, so you got to use it. It just makes everything easier. It makes coverage easier. Joseph Wallace came out of nowhere. Had a great performance from an interior position at that. So that's a plus. I didn't even expect that. So just adding that to our great edges, like, we got the best D line in the league, and it showed last week. I don't see why we can't get 8 sacks again. The D line should be just as good, if not better. But yeah, I was definitely happy with the D line, because we knew it. Malik Fisher coming back was big for us. So I definitely want to highlight the D line. D line played an excellent game. Can't ask for more.
And you're right. There's no reason that we shouldn't eat in this game. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be rowdy, and none of their offensive line PFF scores were particularly great. So the push should be there. Speaking of that, we'll try to hurry it up. We're gonna be the longest individual episode all week. No, the Brahma bullpen down there in the cow pasture. They don't even. They would be this far into the podcast before they even start talking about the Brahmas. So I would think we're not too long.
It's an upset, so like,
yeah,
it's acceptable.
This week's matchups, Memphis Showboats, we've already kind of been going over it a little bit. But two guys I want to talk about, though, they have a corner over there, Lance Boykin, who got a 75.6 coverage grade, a 74 overall PFF grade. Got to assume he's going to be locking up our top guy, Ty Scott. And again, they have a fantastic defensive coordinator over there, Jared Horton. So these tendencies, the completion percentage, the places that the ball was off, I know he's going to identify those things. And I know he's going to have Lance Boykin probably locking up Ty Scott. So could be another challenging offensive week. So look out for that. And then, of course, on the other side, probably the most prolific receiving situation of week one in the entire league was Jonathan Adams Jr. 7 catches for 93 yards. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Neither quarterback over there scored high. I believe they both had a 45 PFF score. Things were looking pretty rough. They were alternating who was throwing interceptions throughout the game. I don't know if they're going to do particularly well under pressure against our D-line, but Jonathan Adams Jr., phenomenal game, phenomenal talent. You cannot discount that threat. What is your thoughts on this Memphis Showboats matchup?
Definitely want to start off running the ball. I'm probably going to say that every week. Definitely want a lot more. I only want Tam to have maybe 25 passes this week. I think we need to show we can win from running the ball. So I definitely want to see that. We need to get to the quarterback as well, whoever they have at quarterback, and I think that gives us an edge. We shouldn't lose to a team that doesn't know who's their quarterback. We should pretty much dominate. The D line should dominate again. O line didn't have a good week one. Our D line had an excellent week one, so I expect our D line to do the same thing. We should definitely get, I would say, at least 5 or 6 sacks. Definitely what I would want to see. Just make it tough for them. I want to score something at 20. I said 25, but yeah, just want to improve. Just want to improve from last week. Should definitely be 2-0. I don't see the Showboats beating us at home. I don't see that. I think we're better than them pretty much every position, and they don't know who their quarterback is, and we do. So, That's just gonna be an easy game for the D line. Like they're gonna dominate again. It's gonna be tough for them to run the ball too. Like
score prediction.
Go well for their offense.
No. Yeah, score prediction.
Oh, 25-6.
25-6. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit less, just because I need to see a little more out of this offense, a little smoother, a little more points on the board. So I'm gonna go 20-8. 20-8.
Okay.
Yeah. Not too much different. Because you're right. They have an excellent receiver on that side, but we have two good corners. So you can't get the ball in the hands of an excellent receiver if their quarterback is on the ground. And I think we both think that both these quarterbacks are going to be on the ground quite a bit.
Yeah.
We hope to see you guys fill up Rowdy Audi and get crazy on Saturday night. Cannot wait to watch this game. We will be watching you. We will be shouting you out whatever we see. Keep making this the best atmosphere in the UFL. We don't care about those front runners up there in St. Louis. This right here is the best environment in the UFL. Anything you guys want us to cover for the next game, make sure you just throw it down in there in the comments. We so much appreciate all of the support, man. You guys rock. Anything, because the show is for the people, by the people. It is the DC Defenders show on United Football Media. Defend DC.